Research shows we actually have two parts to our brain. How many? I can't hear you. One part is called the medulla. And the medulla is known as the lower brain. It's also the oldest part of the brain. It's also known as the reptilian brain. What's it called, please? The reptilian brain. You can understand why. So let's say, for example, here is, well, that's a pretty good person. Wow. You're going, is that what it is? All right. And let's suppose this is this person's brain. Yes, on drugs. Okay. So here's the thing. This part of the brain, the medulla, sits right here at the very base of the skull on the top of the spine. It's right there. Go ahead and touch your medulla. Very good. All right. Now, its primary function of this part of the brain is one function and one function only. Remember, it's reptilian. What's its job? Survival. That's all it knows. Survival. It's instinctive. It's survival. Fight or flight is all it knows. And again, it sits at the base of the spine. And do you want to know what its job is? Its job, believe it or not, is to separate, what's the word? Separate. And direct the flow of information to all of the rest of the brain. Isn't that good to know? Its job is to separate the information and direct the flow to the rest of the brain. In short, our filter, our what? Of the world is an information director who is primarily based in survival and therefore fear. You want to know why 90% of your life is based in some form of anxiety and fear almost all the time? Yes or no? Isn't it true? It's almost all the time, isn't it? You almost always have this little sense of something going on, yes? Little, even you walked in here, you're like a little nervous. You're going to check your seat out. You say, I don't know if I want to be at the end. Who's beside me? You know, I think I'm a little crowded here. Man, fear after fear after fear. Yes or yes? Constant. Watch yourself. It's unbelievable how fearful we live. And the reason now you know, because every bit of information that's coming in is coming in through this filter whose job it is to scour everything and search for what problems could be there. Every little bit of information goes through this process first. How many people recognize that they live in fear? Yeah. If you don't recognize it, that's okay. I want you to start watching yourself now. Watching what the voice is saying. If you start listening to that voice, you'll notice very seldom does it have anything really good to say. True or true? Very seldom. Okay. Now you know why. See, no wonder most of us are still searching for inner peace, inner power, love, joy, meaning in our life. Unfortunately, the controlling part of our brain isn't set up for that. It's not its function. The conditioned mind is first and foremost a survival mechanism. What kind of mechanism? Survival. And yet most of us are constantly trying to use this mind to figure out how to be happy. So, again, it's not a job. You're using the wrong tool. You're using an accountant to do your legal work. Completely different worlds. The issue, as Einstein put it, is you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So what's the answer? Well, you can start by reconditioning your mind. You can slowly record over the old tape with new, much more supportive messages. Or you can bypass the entire fear-based, ego-based system altogether and learn to live in your higher and true self. So where do you find your true self? Here's good news. You don't have to go anywhere to find your true self. In fact, You're already there.